Hello, everyone. Once again, it was kind of a mixed day for the stock market. It was a little bit of the same as what we saw on Friday. This time it was a little bit weaker intraday, but still, once again, we rallied well off the lows of the day, hence this little tail area that you see in the NASDAQ. And that's pretty consistent with how we've been acting during this pullback. As you can see, we've been opening and closing strong, and if we're not opening and closing strong, closing weak, we're getting tails set up. The only day we did not was here on the 31st. But besides that, in the NASDAQ, we are setting up in a pretty decent consolidation zone. And on the Russell 2000, you can see the same thing. When we do open weak, we close strong, and if we are opening strong and then closing weak, we are doing it with some intraday bullish tail action. So overall, I would have to say that this pullback remains, so far, good, quote, quote, whatever. And that if we continue to see this action and the market drift sideways, we can expect the market to break out to the upside. However, once again, that is not a given. And with the above average volume today, the selling still had some momentum behind it, and the short scans were just as heavy as the long scans. So there is no real winner or an apparent direction that the market definitely wants to go to. All I can state is that the intraday reaction off the lows that we are seeing can overall be taken as a positive for the market. And one of the more nicer things I like to see is that the Russell 2000, as you can see, the relative strength line since May, and the NASDAQ are showing some pretty strong relative strength overall during, especially the NASDAQ, during this consolidation. And so that's always great to see. We have no new longs. We have no new shorts. We don't have any ads either. We have no covers. We have 4 sells. But before I go over that, I want to go over what was possibly interesting to me. STRM is a great mover off the 50-day moving average. This is too thin for me with that chart pattern. If the chart pattern was longer, flatter, I'd be more interested. But with an arithmetic chart, you can see that it just isn't smooth and flat like I would want to see it for a thin stock like this to even be considered as a long. Monster, look at Monster Beverages move off the 50-day moving average. That's going with some constructive action off the lows that it had in October. You can see all the action back here, the support with the intraday reversal, the move higher in November, and then low volume on the pullback. Big volume on the support, pocket pivot point buy signals, and then once again support at the 50 and 200-day moving average, and now a breakout with pocket pivot point buy signal. So Monster Beverage Corporation is one to definitely watch. As you can see, it's building a right side of a base there. InvenSense also broke out today quite strongly on strong volume. That's excellent to see. If it can continue to build a right side of a base and hopefully make a handle, that would be great to see on the next breakout. Dunkin' Donuts, it's strong. Look at Domino's Pizza. I mean, when you got Domino's Pizza acting like that, why wouldn't you think another D stock, food-related fast food, wouldn't do well? Dunkin' Donuts. So that's one to watch. Would like to see it build more of a right side. I'm not going to take a dare move that deep into a base, that V shape like that. I have no interest in it. Domino's Pizza, as you can see, is much more interesting, and it's well extended. Also, look at this baby. AMBA continues to do what it loves to do, which is fake breakouts and then break back down. Its most recent one here, you can see it did one here, 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 and now it appears to be wanting to bounce and move higher. So continue to watch AMBA, and if you're brave enough to take the next breakout, go for it. It is a nice stock. MFRM, this stock is an overall tight consolidator right now. Once again, the arithmetic chart is not smooth, so I would never take the signal. But if this stock can flatten out, maybe get that bop to grow a little bit along with some accumulation, MFRM would make a nice long on the breakout. Excellent earnings and sales growth. Everything I've shown you besides STRM has excellent sales and earnings growth. And this stock is just starting to have some excellent sales and earnings growth. XOOM. Nice move off the low. Already got a heavy volume accumulation day off the lows. And then with the other big volume here, you can see the intraday support and reversals showing some relative strength during the market pullback. And today, a very, very strong pocket pivot point buy signal. So XOOM is one to watch. I think that they do like foreign currency exchange or whatever, but they got some big sales growth, and now earnings is right behind it. And then last, on the long side, AHS. if you look at AHS, you will see that this company has some very, very solid and nice earnings and sales growth. And as you can see by looking at this chart pattern, it is making a very, very, very nice base, not only on a log chart, but on an arithmetic chart. It's pretty tight overall. And so if we can continue to see a right side form and then a breakout, this is definitely one to watch. Wish the relative strength line was a little bit stronger overall during the pullback, but it is what it is. But so anyway, INVN, AHS, DNKN, AMBA, MFRM, XOOM, and of course Domino's Pizza, and STRM and MNST shows that there's a lot of good out there in the market. But there is some weakness, but it's not that weak. IO and UCTT, these are two stocks that are without a doubt 100% shortable signals if we were under a sell signal. If the market was below the 50-day moving average. Up here, with the intraday support off the lows that we've seen, with the way that we still have some stocks acting on our long side, the way our current holdings are acting, IO and UCTT are not shorts on my end. But if you want to study these chart patterns, and here, let's go to, that's not going to work for that. F2, you can also see that it's had back-to-back pocket pivot point sell signals. You can see on UCTT, it's had, look at how many pocket pivot point sell signals. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth pocket pivot point sell signal this past month. And that goes with IO, which is given 3 pocket pivot point sell signals. So IO and UCTT in a bear market, there is no doubt these bad boys are shorts. You can see UCTT rolling over even longer term, and you can see IO rolling over even on a longer term. However, we're only in a neutral signal. Short side has not been that great. Even NAVB, a working short, kind of faked us out with a pocket pivot point buy signal, which caused us to cover some of the position today. So it isn't still smooth on the short side. ASTM refuses to break down, and in fact, it won't take long to probably issue a full cover on that position if it breaks out above the 50-day moving average with its recent support. But overall, it's looking okay out there. Now to the sells really quick. SBGI, heavy volume closed below the 20-day moving average with red bop. That now makes it a 25% sell signal, even though it's around the 50-day moving average. If you don't want to sell it, you don't have to. You can use the 50-day moving average as your 25% sell signal. Huge volume break below the 50-day moving average is a 50% sell signal. And WDAY, that is a failure. That is a failure from what was a beautiful initial long signal, and that is very, very, very disappointing to see. However, not shocking following the move in CHT and following the action that we're starting to see in LOCK. Where's that max green bop going? And then TMHC, which was a recent long, has fully failed. And BX, with that heavy volume closed below the 50-day moving average on top of the already heavy volume selling off that came right after the breakout of the most recent long signal, that is a full sell. That way we can at least leave with a little bit of gain and not lose all of our gains like we did in WDAY. And the way that TMHC took us out of those gains, and BX almost did. So it just might as well get out now before we lose them all.